Hello, everybody. This is ERGJ coming to you from my home office. And yes, I mean home office. This is where I do a lot of my work. And today I want to share with you how I went from making $150 a day to $150 an hour. And it really started with me making the decision, probably the best decision I made in 2015, to quit my job. And so I was actually working at a Fortune 500 company. I was making about $50,000 a year, which isn't too bad. But I had to make the decision to quit my job to move forward, to pursue my dreams. And so it's like, well, how did you do that? And so there's a few questions that I had to ask myself before I quit my job. And it's a few questions that people ask me as well. And it's pretty important to know. It's first, how am I going to pay my bills, or how am I going to replace my income? And then secondarily, what am I going to do about my benefits? Because that's a big stumbling block for a lot of people. They're like, well, I don't want to lose my benefits, and I don't want to, lose my income. And so the benefits part is pretty easy. I really didn't have to think about how can I replace my benefits, because there's so many options out there. And so I didn't let that be a stumbling block in my mind that, this company is the only way that I can get benefits. No, there's Obamacare. There's other self benefits that I could connect to. I knew that there was Cobra, that gives me a little buffer when I leave my job, and I could also go out and find my own, health, dental, and medical plans on my own, Kaiser Permanente, things like that. And so I knew already that I could find benefits just the same way that you can find insurance, the same way you can find whatever else it is that you're looking for. They're competing for me. I'm not competing for them. They're looking for my dollars. So there's plenty out there for me as far as benefits are concerned. Now the question was, well, how do I replace my income? And that's really where I want to speak to you guys today on how I quit my job, how I went from making $150 a day to $150 an hour. First, I knew that there was something that I could bring of value to the marketplace. I wanted to bring that value to my job, but because I wasn't high enough in the ladder, I didn't have necessarily all the certifications they were looking for. I couldn't bring this value to my job, even though I saw it was a valuable thing. And so that's really what prompted me, because I was really, pricked that, I had something of value that I couldn't bring to the marketplace because of my job. Secondarily, I learned a skill. It's a skill that I would encourage all of you guys to learn, and that's how to trade your money for money. See, many of us, we're trading our time for money. And when we do that, we only have so much time. And so as I thought about my job and I thought about what was happening, I was making more money with my money than I was with my time. In other words, I would go to work for 8 hours, and during that 8 hours, no matter how hard I worked, no matter how much, how many ideas I came up, no matter how creative I was, no matter how many solutions I brought to any problems that we had at work, guess what? I was still going to get paid the same. So it really didn't matter how hard I worked or how lazy I was at work. I was still going to get paid the same. I was on an hourly wage. And so that told me that my hour is only worth so much time to them, no matter what I bring. Now, of course, you want to give it your all. You want to do as good of a job as you can. But if they're paying me for a job and I do that job, guess what? I only get paid for that job. If I do above and beyond that job, guess what? I only get paid for that job. And so there really wasn't any compensation that comes along with going the extra mile, even though I think that you should, because most people are looking to get promoted. They're looking to climb the corporate ladder. But I found something that was different. I found that I could put my money to work for me, and my money could do all of the heavy lifting. And so now it allowed me to actually get my time back. So I quit my job and I started trading in the stock market. But not only that, the thing that I brought of value, that I knew I had of value that I could bring to the marketplace, I brought that to the marketplace. So now I went from one place where I had one stream of income, a cap on what I could make set by the corporation, to being uncapped. Now I'm unlimited in my income. I'm unlimited in the streams that I could go after. And how can I go after those streams? Because I have more time. So that's why I can come to you from my home work office. And as a matter of fact, it's very interesting, because at the job that I was at, the one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to work from home, and they weren't allowing me to do that. And one thing that I say is I don't wait for opportunities, I create them. So I wanted to work from home, and guess what? I'm working from home. And so I just want to encourage you guys that one, if you find yourself in a place that, you need to break free, that you're getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, but you may feel like this is your only option. I want to tell you that it's not. What I would encourage you to do is find more ways to bring value to the marketplace. Find ways that you can make your money work for you instead of you working for your money. In other words, trading your money for money instead of trading your time for money. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. I'm not going to go into all that, but there's a lot of ways that you can do that, and where you can start to get passive income, residual income, no matter what that is. And then also, I would say, learn the economy, because here's what happens: no matter what you do, whether you're working for a company, whether you run your own business, whether you're doing some direct selling or multi-level marketing or whatever it is that you're doing on the side, this is something that you could do to supplement your income. It's just very similar to real estate investing, other than you don't have the property, you don't have the management, you don't have the tenants. Instead of the real estate being the underlying asset, you have these great big companies of the world as your underlying asset. You're owning things like Nike and Apple and Disney, and you're sharing in their profits. When they make money, you make money. And that's just how it is. And so I was able to walk away from my job. I was able to go from making $150 a day to $150 an hour because I found that I could bring more value to the marketplace. Now, think about this for a second. And this is what was another hang up. If my company if I was getting paid, let's just say you're getting paid $20 an hour. The reality is when you go to work every day, you're only going to make $160. $160 a day. Now, could you not find a way to make $160 a day on your own? Couldn't you do something to make $160 a day on your own? And when I realized that I could make $160 a day on my own, then that's when I knew that I could leave my job. When I knew that I could replace my income by my own efforts, that's when I knew that I could leave my job. So what can you do to replace your income? How much is your time really worth? And don't let it be set by what someone else says, by someone else's policies, by someone else's procedures. What are you worth? What is your time worth? How much value can you bring to the marketplace?